second episode of a Sanctuary podcast. So on my right hand side, I've got Mr. Mfiki. Mr. Mfiki, you can introduce yourself.
Yeah. Thanks, Lulamo, for having me. Lwandile Mfiki, former PSL referee.
Okay. Kapin, ingathi ayiqonde ngakepsharisha ngapha bike.
Okay, igama Lwandile Mfiki, a former PSL referee.
Okay, ketalwa. Mna ke ndikwazi ungutalwa ndifika eMdantsane ubizwa nguta Chris. Into kata Chris iqale lephi?
Yeah, igama lam lenkobe Lwandile. My late aunt gave me the name ka Chris. But it's not an official name because it's not on official documents.
Sure. The thing is, as you know, mna esibake besisebenza kunye, then bendisazi utalwa, then xa nifike eMonti ndihlala pha kwendlini, I'm like, hey, Chris. Alikho official and then njengoba lingekho official ligama eli, for instance mina nalo igama lesibini but andilithandela gama. So but ndiyabona into ba selu acceptile into ba okay yabo.
Yeah.
Or was it not the option?
No, I think umakazi wam loved me. I actually thought she loved me more than my mom. So igama lakhe welithanda, and she was disappointed even if ngingaze register officially yabo.
Sure.
But when we did the IDs thina went esikolweni, it was rush. So ngavele ndathi Lwandile Mfiki warekhodishwa lonto leyo. But ligama elithandayo because the person that gave me loved me, and Christian, by the way, she thought I was going to be a Christian.
but akawelanga kude because istatus sakho ziyamotivate yabo, because benikhe ndisijonge istatus sakho ngumntu othanda umotivate kakhulu yabo, of which it's one of the reasons mhlambi mina nawe sibe close because unale path yakho ndiyithandayo yabo, le yobu Christian, igama le Christian le full name ndiqala uyiva ngoku uba uChristian yabo. So yeah, nevertheless the former PSL referee, question ebesoloko ndinayo ngeli xesha besise Queenstown sonke yabo, I was like, okay, fike Queenstown khala ngosompempe wongumle sisebenza naye ngela xesha uthetha ngosompempe yabo. So question enayo I think we all played soccer yabo ngeli xesha besikole, especially mna ke mntu wakule age yam kwenye generation yabo. So we all played soccer and saba ngo-referee, saba zi-striker, sabethi backline, sadlala nesiso. Why uba udecide into yoba okay wena uzawuthatha impempe ube ngusompempe in the first place?
I think it was more of a refereeing chole mna kunoba mangichole yona.
Okay.
Like you're saying, we all played. I played for a team yalapha eMdantsane, Early Birds Football Club.
Mm-hmm.
And one of the prerequisites the Football Association was that because there were no referees, so team A will provide a referee for a match ka team B and versus team C.
Okay.
When team C is playing with team B or team A is playing with team C, team B will provide a referee. So when I got to the club, it was not from my area. So I volunteer to go and become a referee. Then I said, it's fine, I'll go. But one of the things that led me to refereeing up in Tanzania is that at the time, referees were being given lunch ebaleni, and I loved football. So nanifike ekuseni, matches started at 8 in the morning. Fike ekuseni, your peli matches go 5, and they were given a free lunch. So in a way, I was a representative of your club with a free lunch for me to watch football.
But the thing is, you still do the same now. Awukayeki, awufumaneki ngeweekend usebaleni.
No, refereeing, it's like it's a passion. It's like a bug. Once it bites you, you fall in love with it. It's not easy to get out of your system. I still go ebaleni even though I'm a retired referee. I still spend a lot of my time ebaleni even now. I still run around, try to assist and teach my youngsters. Once your night beats you, back your corner. Once a referee, always a referee.
So kunalento kune question ethi qatha kum ne yabona pha kwakho ne kunenye andanoba i-award yemdafa ndicinga loo nto ngoku njengoba uthetha ngento edibene nemdantsane yabo
Yeah, that was a recognition award from Mdantsane. If you look at it, it's Mdantsane Local Football Association. Previously, it was Mdantsane Football Association, MDAFA.
Mdafa, yes.
Yeah, but now they are being called Local Football Association. So it's MDALFA now, the abbreviation. So it was just a recognition for my services in football up in Mdantsane. They gave me that award.
Okay, because it's one thing nokwama bendinoticile ndoba okay. It's one of the questions sayibhala but ke I've noticed ndoba okay njengoba uthetha ngento edibene nomdantsane kuthi qingo kwinto kaMdafa. Nevertheless ube ngorefri eMdantsane ne ngolhlobo uthetha ngalo yabo. So zikhona umzekelo ne ndikhe ndathi che into engathi ikhona icourse yoburefri and as you can enlighten me.
It's not something you can go to school like enroll a school in I want to do a referee's course. But SAFA nationally they do have courses like there's levels of refereeing. Your first level will be level 1 and 2. You go to a level 1 and 2 course, probably 2-day course, then you write level 1, 2 exam on the same day. Level 1 you pass, you write level 2. Then you become a local football referee.
Okay.
Supposedly. That everybody should have that exam or that certificate, like the basics of football refereeing to become a referee in local football. Then you write your level 3, your level 4. Then you should be refereeing at a regional level.
Sure.
Football structures are more or less now designed like the geographical municipalities of South Africa, because we've got 52 regions.
Sure.
So each region has got LFAs, like Abe Buffalo City is a region. The last I checked, there were 8 LFAs, which is Dalfa is one of them, King Williamstown West, East London Central, East London, like there's 8 LFAs that make the Buffalo City region. So those 8 LFAs will have clubs under Zona, local.
Okay.
Like the last time I checked in Tanzania, we had about 62 clubs. So you start from there. You start from your LFA, then your level 2, your level 3, level 4 gives you a certificate to be promoted to do regional leagues. Like there's about 16 teams in a regional league, the Buffalo City Regional League. Then you progress from there. Your next step will be the provincial league. The provincial league has about 16 teams as well from around the province. So again, it's the 8 districts is the province, like your Nelson Mandela, your Buffalo City, all these geographical locations that make Eastern Cape or municipal by Eastern Cape.
Sure.
Yeah, then they make up the provincials. Then from provincial, we are promoted to a national. That's the structures currently, but it was longer for us when we started because it was a district, a region, a province. Then you will go to first division. Then eventually you'll go to a PSL. Then after PSL, then you're eligible to go to international, where you can get out of the country to come to the games.
Sure. It's one thing now that you're talking international. Yeah. Also, I saw that in Napakuwe ubuzenza ne international games. Dibone pictures.
Yeah, I wouldn't say lucky enough. I worked hard enough and opportunities came my way. I grabbed them. Although I don't feel I went out to fulfill my full potential, especially internationally, but I did reach international. Yeah, I can safely say I've gone to the highest level of refereeing. I could have gone to the World Cup, but I didn't. But at least I went out of the country to other countries. Football has shown me to the world.
So, a question I have, if wena wawungazange uziavele as lamntu uzawusoloko eyoreferee team yakho, do you think you have traveled the world?
That's what I'm saying. That refereeing because you don't just go out there ube referee. You see, you must have a love and a passion for this thing. And after passion, you must dedicate your time because it's not smooth sailing. There's a lot of hard work that needs to be done behind the scenes. So you'll see referring at to baleka pha TV ngathi everything is smooth, but it's not as smooth. There's a lot of work that happens, especially now with referees being still amateurs and the players being professionals. Because the professionals are training the whole day, and most of the referees are working 8 to 5. They train later and try and catch up, do analysis the game, do analysis the teams.
Sure.
So there's a lot of background stuff that goes on.
Yeah. So yabona i-conclusion eyi-1 kule nto ne lesigqibo sithetha ngayo ngoku into yoba kubaluleke awutarget imali kuqala.
No.
I-passion yakho imali izawuza at a later stage.
No, it should be passion. I remember there was a slogan that I nafikela kuzo ku refereeing. People used to say for the love of the game.
Yeah.
Yeah, imali was the last thing on our mind. It was just for the love of the game.
Sure.
And the good thing about refereeing, it will take you places. You see, growing up in Tanzania, the first time I went out to town, I went to Bloemfontein for a football tournament. You see, that was the first time I had been outside of the Eastern Cape.
Sure.
Get football.
Football.
So yeah, yeah, football will take you places. Imali will come eventually, if it does come.
Provided that
Progress oyenzayo wena. If you're stuck on one place, then it means imali might not come. The higher you go, the better the chances of imali coming.
So coming back to our questions. So uburefa pha eMtanzania ne wazihamba zonke ezi levels. So now comes the time kuthiwa uzawureferela one of the PSL games. Which one was it? And where was it?
Okay, I think it's story some from Tanzania. Like I said, football, yeah,
Sure.
because as I was representing my team, ISAFA sent an instructor from Durban. I think the guy was called Raymond Sheikh. He was going to conduct a referees workshop for the regional referees.
Sure.
Then they happened to go, workshop here was started on a Friday. Saturday morning, they wanted to go and do practicals. Then they came to the ground up in 6 Tanzania. When they got there, wafika kurefera mna.
Sure.
And Raymond Sheikh was impressed to say, hey, I'm impressed. I didn't know anything about the laws of the game. I have not seen the book.
Sure.
And reference that to say,
according to your knowledge.
Yeah, what I have as having played the game.
Sure.
So Raymond was impressed and he said, no. Imagine I was referring a match with 8. The team is playing with 10 past 9.
So kusafuneka uphinde udlale futhi.
See, so Raymond was like, no. Siyamba, but was only spending an hour here. Sine theory classes siyamba now. So it was like making a choice.
So
do I go or do I stay? But I had to make a choice. I spoke to the coach to say, these guys, but the workshop here referees, this might take me somewhere. Coach, what? Okay, it's fine. Go. Then I went to the workshop. I didn't know anything. The first thing I get there, value examination.
Sure.
And I'm like, wow. I had to write. I wrote. Fortunately, I passed because it refereeing, as much as it's about interpretation.
Sure.
It's basically what happens, the general knowledge of what happens in the game.
Okay.
If you ikutshwe kabana aba defender izaba corner kick. So questions like that. At least I got a passing mark.
Yeah.
Then from there I had my level 1, level 2 exam. So yeah, that was the start. Then I kept on refereeing in Tanzania. That year I was the DAFA referee of the season. I started in May. When the season ended, go December,
Sure.
early December. I was awarded the DAFA referee of the season. What was more fulfilling for me for the award was that it was not a vote was among us, the referees. We were about 24, 25 referees, and they were saying, vote for anything about in this season. I voted for a colleague of mine. Obviously, I wouldn't vote for myself, but the guys, they were going to put about everybody. I think I got about 18 of the 24 votes voted for me. So it was like, yeah, people can recognize what I'm doing.
If you voted yourself, you could have got 19. But you were fair.
No, obviously. The thought came to my mind, let me the left. But I was like, no, it's like referee of the year. People spoke and it felt good to my first year. I could get that kind of recognition.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Then
Sure.
from there, I went to the province, did the provincial games. Again, I was lucky enough because after that first year, I went to a tournament. It was Coca-Cola under 17 at Bloemfontein to represent the province, a region,
Sure.
as a referee. So it was bordered then the province. So I went there, then got referee. I went as far as doing a semi-final in that tournament. And the 3 guys that were doing a final were promised they were going to be promoted to it was then the first division,
Sure.
MTN League, the first division. So the 3 guys that did the final were, at the time, they were already in the national panel. So because I had gone to the semi-final, they took the 2 guys that were in the semi-final and I was promoted. So my first year, I was the referee of the year. I was promoted to the MTN League. Yeah, but at the time, it was not easy because only, I don't know, maybe because when I was promoted that year, we had a team that was promoted to the league that was playing in the MTN League. So at least we had a team that we can go and do games for. Because at the time, there was not a lot of money involved. So the referees were local. So you will do teams that are closer to you. So Itonado was closer to us.
Sure.
The next best team that was closer to us was in PE, which was Park United. So yeah, so I got that opportunity to be in that MTN League. I think I only did 1 game at Tornado in that league the whole season. For obvious reasons, I was still raw. Yeah, I was still raw. But raw talent, people will see there's something coming here.
So potentially be born.
Sure, it will come right. Then I stayed first division. I think that was 1999. Because I started refereeing 1998. Then the 1999 season, I stayed in the first division.
Sure.
The next season, 2000, I was an assistant referee then because there was no way you could come in the panel. Yeah, there was no even in the province. I was an assistant referee. Then gradually, I became a referee.
I think I'm charged, but so referee and assistant referee.
The difference between referee is the guy that is in the middle.
Yes.
With the whistle.
Yes.
The assistant referees are the guys on the sides with the flags.
Linesmen, eh?
Yeah, in layman's terms are the linesmen.
Yes,
but
yes,
because of gender equality now, they are called assistant referees. No longer linesmen. I hope now is our team assistant referees.
Update the framework.
Yeah, so I started as an assistant referee. 2000. Then in 2000, I was an assistant referee. 2001. We used to go to, like now it was the national panel. So the referees in the coastal used to go for a workshop, a week-long workshop in Cape Town. Then we'll do the workshop, write your theory exam, a 2-hour exam. Every start of the season, you'll be writing a 2-hour exam just to check your knowledge of the laws of the game.
Certification.
Yes. You'll be writing that 2-hour exam just to test your knowledge. But if you were passing it, you were always improving because each time you made, let's say you got a 75% the previous year, you'll get an 80 or a 90% the next year because it was something that was, there's not much change in the laws of the game. As much as about every year there's some changes, but they are not that much. The core remains the same. But it kept people glued to their book because as a referee, I've always known Oguti. At least every day I must have looked in the book.
Yeah.
And surprisingly, every day I will find something that I was like, this one looks new. Yeah, so each time you'll find something that
wow. Hey. So first big game is an in.
Okay. It's the thing is when I want to go to the first big game. This is a journey. This is a journey. So 2001. After coming back from the workshop, like after the workshop on a Sunday, every referee wanted to have a copy of the City Press.
Sure.
Because after the workshop, the list of the referees that were in the panel will be published on the City Press.
Sure.
So the Sunday, everybody will want the City Press. So 2001, after the workshop, having done well, a workshop and the thing, I'm one of the top achievers. City Press Sunday, my name is not there. And I'm like, wow, what's happening? Put Ace, that was pushing us into a refereeing, Mr. Kika. So the phone Mr. Kika, hey, Mr. Kika, my name is not in the panel. Never. Can't be. There must be something. So he calls the national office, say, hey, Mfiki is not in the panel. Only to find out the gentleman that was typing Amakama using a typewriter. Mr. Kamala.
Oh, come on.
But you see, what was surprising, as much as my Kamalam was missed, but the numbers, like if they said they wanted 25 or 30 referees, there were 30 referees, 50 assistant, there were 50 assistant referees, but my name was not there. Like they say, one man's meat or one man's fortune is another man's misfortune. Unfortunately, one of the referees in Durban passed away. He was an old man, Babu Ntombela.
Sure.
But now I come back as a referee and as a central referee now in the middle, and it's something that I was working towards because I became more enjoyer ubangu referee ngaphakathi noba ngiwassistant.
Sure.
That is 2001. 2001, and at the time first division sekukhona kuvuleleka okuthile, at least i-coastal could go to Koma Durban.
Sure.
Siyokwenza games Koma Durban instead of senza i-tournament yahlala isine-1 relegate. So kwashiyeka iPark United, so we'll go to Park United. But 2001 sasikwazi ukuya Durban, siyokwenza games at Durban because there were teams in Durban, Cape Town. Then nase Cape Town we'll go siyokwenza games.
Sure.
Then at the end of that season, 2001, 2002, Umdu gets promoted. Oh, there was a big scandal, Operation Dribble in the country. Some of the top referees were implicated in the bribery. So a panel,
okay.
Yeah. There were two panels at the time, PSL panel, First Division panel.
Sure.
So the PSL panel, no problems, and they had to beef up.
Okay.
They started with 3 names: Lwandile Mfiki, Abdul Ibrahim, Brian Sibisi.
Uphi wena ngelixesha mhlawumbe uzawufa zonke izindaba uphi?
No, it's after the workshop.
Oh, it's after the workshop.
After the workshop, after the workshop, City Press.
Yo.
So you want to see my Kamala Oligwe panel. The first thing you want to see is my name there.
Sure.
Likoni Kamalam. Panel. And as referees as in the first division, ufuna upromoted to the Premier Division.
Sure.
Referees in Premier Division as uzibona zihliselwe to the so I think that kept standard.
So referee.
Yeah, standard the country general because low sezantsi ufuna la position yalo iphezulu. Low phezulu usebenzela ukuba akawuthoba umgangatho for bahliswe.
Consistency.
Yeah, so his standard was sasi high.
Sure.
Then my first PSL game was in Cape Town, Santos versus Silver Stars. I think it's 9th September or 3rd September, somewhere there. At Lone Stadium. At Lone Stadium. At Lone Stadium, so, 7:30. Get a game, and fortunately or unfortunately, I'm not sure. Ostenbam is one guy from Echobek, Joel Morachan.
Sure.
I've seen him Jake workshops with Joel. Accounting ngako sakasayincokola.
Sure.
Then ndinoprawa lapha ephondweni, uprawa wasemthatha. Budlungile matyala. I respect Budlungile, but ufuna la respect naye.
Sure.
Now a question yoba zayohlula kanjani lento?
Yeah.
How do I respect ubhuti as ubhuti?
Yeah.
But funeka ndibe leader because I'm the leader in the team ndingureferee. But I said to myself, okay. I always believe kumahluko bari kwenkokheli ne boss.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
So
sure.
I've always been trying to be leader ngingabi boss. So ngizabe leader ngizamhlonipha ubhuti, but if ufuneka phakamise iflag ndingayithathi okanye ningavuthili.
Yeah.
Isigqibo silele kuma egqibeleni funeka I accept it. We went there. Science game, it went well.
Sure.
It went well game. I think it went well. Because 2 weeks later I got another game. Ren Stadium, Moroka Swallows, Manning Rangers, TV.
You Ngela xesha nje ngithanda isoka lawe Moroka Swallows ne-Rangers ne-Santos kwakhona no-New Bry kwakuthiwa nguNito ngela xesha idlalela iSwallows wapha e-Eren eBhayi jonga la brane just out of there nantika isazoba ndizawuthetha ngaye ne kusibalo wami unomntana pha endlini one of my sisters yabo so uBranito ngela xesha udlalela iSwallows iMoroka Swallows so every time xa mhlawumbe ifumene i-spotlight se-interview ibuye lanto ibuyele eBhayi Tiki, ifaka yonke track suit yeMoroka Swallows. So those guys to us, ne, I believe it's not only me from abantu baseBhayi party. Ebeyenza lando for us to no, this is possible.
Yeah,
because nangu uBranito besimbone enantikeni ngoku. And ngehonke especially kum because kum uthanda lapha endlini nomjite lo.
Yeah.
So go sathi
I think Lou, the professional footballers, like the players,
sure.
Bebenayo lo impact. I wouldn't say babe trauma, but babe solo bebuya bezilokishini, especially abasezilokishini, just to show namajita aselokishini asadlalayo into ba ndikwazile uphuma apha kule lokishi ndakwazi uyofika kwi-professional level ningakwazi uyenza nani uyabo yeah hey Moroka Swallows Rangers and now igame is TV.
Sure.
And I'm like nervous like hell. I don't know what to think.
Abanye abantu nje babe excited nje.
But I've always said to assistant referee that supported me. I think throughout my career. Because on this particular day, I had guys that were international at the time. Spiwo Chibiliza from Apepondwini, was it Tinako Praspiwo, no Lazarus Matela.
Sure.
So when I got to the hotel, I don't have a driver's license. So when you pick your hotel, because prior you get hired car, you land, you hire remote, and no license.
Usuke kazi kaloku.
Phume lokishini.
Uzahaslisha wena.
Yeah. So pra webster yonithatha ke le airport. Then he set me down. Ngola nami ke one bonus bakhe TV. Forget about the TV. Just do your game. The cameras ezijonge wena, engojonge cameras.
Yeah, sure.
Yabo. We did the game again. I think the game went well. I've never been satisfied. As I know, nearly game now good game yande kahle. Yeah, and ndifuna uva ngabantu besithi game yande kahle. Yeah, because if it was as normal way by game yande kahle. Awuzobuye improve. Awuzokhangela into improve. I always tried but mangikhangela into ba
ngenza ntoni.
Ndiquphaze phi. Ndilona ilungisa.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was the first game in Cape Town, followed by the game TV, so first TV game Swallows Rangers. Yeah. Babe uyaqala ngurefera regular kwi PSL.
Yo, yaqala ngena nemali ngathi nokho.
Yangena nemali and you see imali nayo brings us new challenges. Siphuma from a background as poor, asina proper guidance or education. You about how to handle imali.
Sure.
You see, I always refer to his story when I went to a tournament in Bloemfontein. I got the news on I think Thursday.
Sure.
They are phoning from the Safa Porter office and about you're going to nep the team to Bloemfontein. So obviously at the time I go to Mama, hey, late the Bloemfontein man, yabo, Epolini, yabo. Mama team then I'm phakathi enyangeni ngolhlobo and it's end November early December sizamphahla ze Christmas yonke le wili
izimali ngafika iphumile
like ngicela nje umphako uyabo something yobana benayo and at the time I knew bakanayo
sure
I got a lousy 5 rands from home and I knew about this 5 rands is all that she has yabo sizahamba ngebus imagine ibus is leaving City Hall ngo 1 a.m. abe East London yaphuma ibhasi
so abanye abantu xa mana bezomane beyothenga iUltraCity
ulele lu ibhasi yethu like I don't know how Isafa was structuring as traveling because we were going to go via PE.
Okay,
siyothatha team yase PE.
Okay,
from East London siyothatha team yase PE sisaye Bloemfontein. Yes. So the route was long. So at every stop bazokumiswa bantu bazoyehla KFC 24 hour
and you have 5
ulele noma ulelanga and lingawuthi ivumba. Yabo. So those are the things. Now all of a sudden uzibona sokunemali.
Sure.
Yabo. Awukwazi uphatha mali. Usuka kwi background engena mali. Yabo.
Yeah.
And uyafuna ufunda uzimela. Awuzokwazi uthatha le mali uyise mama will never ask like for imali kum yabo. It always been me ucinga into ba mali emthethe. And I never thought into ba okay man thathe le mali ndise ekhaya and dibuyiselwe whatever ndiyinikwayo yabo.
Sure.
But at the time umuntu olukile naye uzama uba mdala uyabo. So uzama indlela but obviously asinayo la proper money management skills.
Ayikho kuzo zonke ifamily.
Yeah, proper management skills. Now umuntu uzibona une fake friends ngoku because unemali. You are spending on unnecessary things.
On extended family.
You are spending on unnecessary things. Uyabo, you explore, you start drinking amachiteni. Obviously awufika must kuyaziwa awunemali lwa. Uyabo?
Bono TV.
Yankala. Uyabo? So these are the things that we try to teach the young up and coming referees especially now.
Sure. How
to manage your funds, how to lead your life. You see, so that they don't commit the same mistakes like we did. Yeah. It's the same with even former footballers, like the players. They've gone through the same issues. Bonus all of a sudden nemali eninzi angayaziyo. Bawuza 18 na. Sure. Then apele spend wrong or invest right. So those are the things that we try to educate and advise the youngsters to avoid.
Sure. Yeah. So apendleleni eya wagqithe ebhayi ne from ebhayi uhamba wayemanga wonke okanye eBloemfontein. Yeah,
you can imagine
ulele lonke lixesha.
Fortunately ibhasi yayimke ngo1 ekseni East London.
Oh, at least ubuthongo bukhona.
So yeah, babukela amaxesha ubuthongo bungalawulekiyo. But xa ifika ebhayi izafika ebhayi, people will buy drinks, refreshments. Mhlawumbe izafika ebhayi let's say ngo5 or 6 a.m. yabo.
So
awufuna uvuka because uyavuka wenzeni uzasukuvuka mhlawumbe uyochama kuyabana noba but it was summer so ungabani kakhulu yabo. So those are the stories that shaped and made umuntu yabo. So awufika eBloemfontein at least there's free food yabo, accommodation akhona uzayifila apha, you can focus ku refereeing.
Yeah, after it's like we say hotel.
Yeah, you are in hotel
after a game. We vacation.
Utshela la xesha ungalitshaka ebhasini. Because ibuffet nje utshaya yonke into ongayiqhelanga
yonke into uhlelile phana abantu abakhulu. Yebo, nokwanga ukuzibona zomuntu omkhulu. Hey, uThixo uyasebenza. So now ne a quick one ne i-duties ka referee apha ematchini zeziphi?
It is like as zibhaliwe encwadini ye laws of the game.
Sure.
One referee must be there to see uba imithetho yefootball iyathotyelwa by the both teams.
Sure.
So he enforces the laws of the game. Timekeeper because nguye onewatch kudlalwa 45 but kudlalwa 45 ngale yakhe iwatch.
Yeah.
If you decide uyimisa because kune injury ime ingahambi, hence referees basebenzisa stopwatches so that you can stop.
Okay.
So nguye time is the sole judge yexesha.
Sure.
Uba ipheli akanothi coach hayi referee match ipheli ba ikapheli ku referee ikapheli.
So tell me again, how does it determine into okay upper so 85 minutes?
Like I say, you normally use 2 watches.
Okay.
The one watch will run. Ne? Uzayeki yami. Enye xa ku stoppage uyayimisa.
Sure.
Every time when stoppage uyayistop enye watch.
Yeah.
Xa uphinda restarta uphinda uqala uphinda uyiqale nayo. Yeah. So le ihamba koko ungayimisiyo.
Sure.
Once ifike ku 45 minutes.
Sure.
Now ujonga i-difference. Umahluko kule ibisibani uyimisa.
Okay.
Then ufumanisa umahluko. Uba umahluko masithi it was 5 minutes. Then lelo xesha longezwayo ke ngoku.
Makes sense. Makes sense. So
yeah. on the same spot, that we have question about assistant referees who takes the decisions. Or referee because thina sibone the fourth official raise board It's not the fourth official who decides ngexesha malifakelwe.
Okay.
Referee in the middle.
Okay.
Then he communicates with the fourth official.
Sure.
But we're adding this time. Then the fourth
Okay.
official left report.
All right. Zonke sonyani ucontrol igame yakho.
Yeah. Those duties zakhe ezo.
Okay.
Uyayimisa imatch xa icinga ba mfamba uyamisa like kwi-foul. Xa inguye ocinga ba yi-foul. Not ikakucinga omnye umuntu.
No matter mnandi lapha kwi-fan ndibhizi into hayi penalty le.
Uba yena akayiboni i-penalty. Akazunika penalty.
Yeah.
So i-main duties zika-referee zibhaliwe encwadini. So referees zifanele uba ziyazifunda, they prescribed there.
Oh, okay. Nansi ke ngokenye into ne. I think imithetho minutes apha. Inanti ke sinisesicoverishile. I-VAR. Masise nje kwi-VAR. Do you think i-VAR apha South Africa would work if no introduce?
i-VAR is a tool designed ngu-FIFA to uncedisana ne-referees. Because generally sport is growing and sport is becoming a business.
Sure.
So FIFA is trying to get the decisions as right at all times. Nonciphisa impazamo ezinkulu.
Sure.
You see, I was talking nonyutata a former referee.
Sure.
A city is standard C2. Kule generation yam asifani nesabo. Esabo was higher.
Sure.
And ndambona angle angayiboniyo ndithi kuye jonga mhlekazi. Ngona ni referee nina nikhwela itrain uye ebaleni, yabo?
Yes.
Nifike ebaleni kukho camera eyi-1. So if wenze i-mistakes,
sure,
i-camera ayikho kulaa ndawo ayikho close camera yayiphikisha, that mistake izawufa ingabonwanga.
Sure.
Kule era yethu we had about 24 cameras, ne? So i-mistakes bekulula uphikisheka. Currently there's about 30 high definition cameras or 36. So there's nowhere to hide.
There's no.
So i-referees now i-mistakes zazo ziyavela because angle ine camera. Uyaybo? And ngiyayibona once from the angle ayijonga kuyo. Thina siyibone from 7 different angles.
Yeah.
Uyaybo? So simbone ba i-mistake le. Uyaybo? So i-generation izo challenges zayo. Football iyagrowa, sport general siyagrowa, siyi-business.
Yeah.
Impazamo zo-referee zingagxiliswa coach.
Sure.
Zingabangela ii-teams into yoba maziluze imali. Imagine u-referee wenza i-mistake ku-World Cup final. Uyaybo? I-team ngempazamo ibe yimpazamo egenuine. Uyaybo? Because une-split seconds to babone le nenzele. So i-VAR is a tool eyokuncedisana no-referee. Ayiwathathi amandla ka-referee ukwenza i-decision.
Sure. U-referee still needs to make a decision. Yeah.
U-referee still has to make a decision. Because if VAR has protocols, the video assistant referee hleli somewhere will see this thing video and he communicates no referee into ba hey, let's take this question X is imzekelo or simple.
Sure.
Whenever ku score goal, i-goal funeka ijonge into ba bengekho offside na before i-goal.
Sure.
So the bazojenga kwi build up ye-goal. If there was no offside, bathi inikeni i-goal. If there was offside, bathi
it's an offside.
There's an offside kwindawo ethile, yabo? So don't give the goal.
So now nansi into bendifuna quick one nje masilapha kwi offside nenanti ikona lando fumaniswa i-players thanda udive. So how do you determine dive? How do you determine inyani?
These are zezinto i-VAR izama uncedisana no-referees ngazo. Because okay, currently la South Africa asikabe nayo i-VAR.
Sure.
But let's say let dive yenza ngaphakathi ebhokisini funeka ibe yi-penalty. That's where i-players ezininzi zifuna udive khona.
Sure.
Wazibona ibhokisi hayi zibona i-swimming pool mntakabawo. So today ureferee uzayibona ba acinga ba ayo dive ayinike i-penalty.
Sure.
Tomorrow acinga ba i-dive ibe ngeyo dive ebe mhlawumbe umntana ekhathiwe nyani angayiniki i-penalty. So ukuzama ukukhawulana nezo mpazamo zinjalo i-VAR incedisa apho. Because i-VAR whenever i-penalty is given, i-VAR will have a look ijonge ba le penalty yiyo nyani na. So for me i-VAR njengesixhobo ndicinga ba siyayinida eSouth Africa. Although mhlawumbe ke singabe asikabi nayo izixhobo ezaneleyo buxhakaxhaka buyisebenzisa because you need equipment ya i-VAR singaba sinayo.
one more question before sibe ngathi siyayeka ne. Kunale match ise kona la fan yayifuna ukubetha ivuvuzela. Moses Mapita kudlala Kaizer Chiefs nandoni kanini?
Golden Arrows.
Golden Arrows, yeah. So what was the feeling that time? Hey, ubona la mntu serious pa uyiphethe le vuvuzela.
No, you see, what happened is that I just given I think it player achieves a red card.
Sure.
Close. It was a very heated game. The coaches were fighting a benchini, and Shemo fourth official it was his first game at PSL. Sure. Fourth official, so he was shaken. That could look must try to absorb the pressure. Ne?
Sure.
Must try to absorb the pressure. As coaches. Sure. Try to absorb the
yeah.
Chiefs scored, and we made a mistake. We disallowed the goal for offside. So commotion.
Sure.
Easy.
Sure.
Then after the Chiefs scored, I gave them a red card. Hey, fans.
Yeah.
They could not take.
Yeah.
But what was disappointing for me is that we were in a World Cup stadium. This stadium is just thing, they are well secured.
Sure.
But if fan managed to breach the stadium,
sure.
So I'm not there nje kwi-com system because that is ngomva. So assistant ref wathi kumbe hey Mfiki, someone is coming behind you. That okay, mlindi abe kufutshane xa ekufutshane ngixelele because I don't want to turn.
Yeah.
I wanted to number this surprise out.
Make it surprise him.
So xa ekufutshane what was about 5 that 10ish, and by the time the 10ish that person imredile because ndabuza imibuzo ba uphethe ndoni kodwa siyazi uphethe ndoni but uphethe something. Uyiphethe ngesiphi isandla? Uyiphethe ngase left, so that mhlawumbe it's a left-handed guy linxele. Yabo?
Sure.
Then when I turned abona okay ivuvuzela but igqunywe nge flag.
Sure. Yeah. Sure.
Then I swap to the right hand. Okay, he's right-handed. Then wabetha ndadaka. Something said to me, and when I dunked ngobuya yo ibox yasemdantsane ukuba uzawube iboxa ngumkanja. Isilevu sithe qhiwu lo mfana, and something said dubula nawe left hook yakho. But fortunately I came to my senses and aphindisa.
Sure.
Then nomchita wakhutshwa.
So wakhutshwa zanga abanjwe nobanjwe.
Yeah, wakhutshwa wabanjwa. I think wabanjwa, but I don't know how far the case went because wakhutshwa balini at the time wakhutshwa ngaphandle wabanjwa. And he was charged. But I feel I saw him the same night because I will go walk after a game, just go for a walk just to clear my mind. Especially at Durban, beachfront. I think the same night because I saw someone and think banguye but they say yeah.
I know. I think we've covered enough for the day. Well, so I think we've covered enough for the day. So obviously you can always check on my page at Luko Media. Well, Twitter it's at Lamalulama. Also the third one, TikTok, ne, good at Lulama Mpehlo. So enatalwa ufumane kapi kweziphi handles zakho ze social network?
Social network, Twitter @LwardsChris. Facebook it's my name, Lwandile Mfiki.
Sure.
It's not a page. I think I'm close enough to reach the limit. Probably be creating a page sometime soon.
Sure. I'm
not on TikTok. You get me on Instagram at Lwandile_Mfiki.
Okay.
Yeah.
Alright, sure. Let's call that a wrap. Peace.
Thank you.